Let me introduce you to the philosophy of Raw Iron Brotherhood MC. I am the spoiler co-founder of Raw Iron Brotherhood MC. I'm responsible for a lot of tasks that are internally in the development of Raw Iron Brotherhood MC and externally also. But primarily, I'm the spokesperson that you will see in the videos and behind the keyboard. My co-founder, Big D, he's the external spokesperson that you will see out on the set and handling business that needs to be handled club to club. Raw Iron Brotherhood MC is not an outlaw club. Our MC values come from that of the outlaw ways. Again, we're not an outlaw club. We just follow some protocols and values that are in that tradition. We do have proper blessings on our set, and our teachings come from OGs who come from that lineage. So let me take this time to give a shout out to some of the OGs and clubs that have basically helped found the ideal of what raw iron is from our teachings and the learnings and the travels that we've been. Shouts out to Hell's Lovers Nation. They've been very instrumental in our philosophy. Shouts out to the Mighty Outcast, who has also been very instrumental in help shaping our philosophy. Shouts out to Sin City, who we've come in contact with through the years and had very good conversations, very good relationship with through the years. Some of our OGs in particular, Claim Jumper from Hell's Lovers MC, rest in peace for that brother. Shouts out to two of my personal OGs who not only helped shape me as an MC, but also have guided me as a man. My brother Cam and my brother Jelly Roll, very instrumental in the club philosophy and the shaping of the man that you see here. I've always introduced my people to them so that they can have that kind of impact with those OGs. Also, shout out to Mr. Brome from Equalizers MC in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's always been supportive of what we do and always ready to lend a hand with our answers or of any sort that he could answer. And he recently just had a birthday, so shout out to him. I want to give a special shout out to General Bone, Brother Jimmy from Sin City. This gentleman, shortly before he passed, rest in peace, spent some time at our clubhouse with his members and basically schooled them into not only MC protocols and what was going on at the time when Sin City was coming up, but he also taught them some of the inner workings as far as how they will form the patch formulation in their club. And one of my young patch holders, I made him sit in on that talk, especially because, again, I was always taught, you go to your OGs and you listen. And so he got to listen to this brother talk and school us all. And that was, I think a few months before he passed away. So uh, in learning of his passing, I called my member and informed him of that, you know. And the lesson is that you'll never know when you'll get that valuable lesson from that OG. And that's a lesson, one, he'll never forget. Two, he'll never be able to have that conversation again with that OG because he's passed on. So it was a very enlightening thing that, of course, life is short. And while you got those OGs right there in front of you, you know, take some time and learn some things. Raw Iron Brotherhood um, comes out of those traditional type of MC teachings. And while the world is still fluid and things change in MCing, I understand that wholeheartedly, and therefore we have to be flexible with the changes. Not all things that are norms now in MCing we buy into. That's a personal choice that we've made with this club to um, hold on to traditional values, yet still recognize that things are going to be fluid and going to change. And there's some things that, you know, even that we have to um, be flexible on, but there's some things that we have to be rigid on. Now, the makeup of Raw Iron Brotherhood MC, we come from all different backgrounds. We are black men, black males, but we all come from diverse backgrounds as far as how we grew up, how we grew up in MCing. Some people, it's their first and only club. Some of us, it's a learning process from one club to another. Now, while that's not the norm of back in the day, that is the norm now, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You mature and graduate kind of up as you MC. At least you're supposed to. It doesn't always happen, especially if you're only doing it for the money grab or the ego of you want to run your own show. Sometimes you just don't know enough to run your own show and be effective. So I think with this club, we are being effective, and we understand that people come and people go, but the basis of what we are still stay the same, and we stay true to that. Riding your iron and minding your business. As I was saying before, we do have a diverse group of men, from business owners to educators, uh, to military personnel, to fraternal personnel, and police personnel, at one time fire personnel, uh, to people that have went to prison, to people that have almost gone to prison. So we do have a diverse group, and we see ourselves as a community, and we don't hold what you do for a living or even what your past was, except for a few minor exceptions, against you. Because again, we come from the community, and therefore we understand that at different times and stages in your life, things happen. And to me, you shouldn't be dogged for a mistake in your life, um, especially when you're trying to better yourself and you are being an asset to your family and to your club. So we understand those things. And while Raw Iron Brotherhood is not perfect, um, because we are human, um, we do have all kinds of different personalities. People are going to come and people are going to go. We realize that. But the basis of who we are still stay the same. We have, as of this recording, 2 chapters. The mother chapter in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the second chapter in Memphis, Tennessee. As with any club, and yes, it is an MC taboo to ask clubs about the size of their membership. That is an old school thing. And I believe that that's something that should be upheld, because of the simple fact is that membership in motorcycle clubs are always going to fluctuate, because like I said, some people come, some people go. Sometimes a club is not for you, sometimes a club is for you. So you have to actually get in there and find out. So asking people about how many people you have in your club, yeah, I do frown on that also, because your membership is always going to be fluid depending on what's going on. Economic times are going to affect your membership. Sometimes people just don't have the funds to do this at a high level. It's easy to just sit around and do nothing and just be on the rolls. So that's not the type of thing that we ascribe to here. We at Raw Iron Brotherhood do not ascribe to the later trend of having a sister club under the banner of Raw Iron. While there's nothing wrong with that, Raw Iron Brotherhood is a men's club of strong black men, period. The spouses, significant others of the membership are invited to events that we hold, and are integral part of the club because of this simple fact. You can't do this at a high level, meaning fellowshipping and riding your motorcycle, without the support of your family, without the support of your friend network. So it becomes important that you include them in your life, in your motorcycle life, as far as showing them what you're doing when you are fellowshipping with your brothers and having a good time. It's important that we feel that you include them in that. You are not required to ride a Harley Davidson motorcycle in Raw Iron Brotherhood MC. But your bike type is subject to approval, only because, again, if you're on the highway with big baggers and you got a 600cc motorcycle, the question is, one, are you going to be able to keep up? And I'm not talking about your sport bike cats. And that's a whole nother type of situation, right? Especially when you're talking highway riding and riding some kind of distance. So it becomes a different type of situation. So no, the question of do you have to have a Harley Davidson motorcycle? No, because all the other brands have now stepped it up as far as making quality bagger type motorcycles. So we keep it in that type of family, but it doesn't have to be a Harley Davidson motorcycle. The basic philosophy of the club is that we're not brand loyal by any means. Do we have a good relationship with our preferred dealer? Yes, we do. But that doesn't mean that you can't own any other kind of motorcycle brand to be in Raw Iron Brotherhood MC. In Raw Iron Brotherhood, we fellowship with each other, and therefore we don't necessarily do the anniversary party thing on the set every year like a number of clubs do. And the reason for that is because, again, it tends to be disingenuous when if I fuck with you, I fuck with you. If I can't make your party, you shouldn't be butthurt over that type of situation because you know I fuck with you. We may have had something going on internally, or we may have had something other to do. That's just the way it goes in this team. But the whole party aspect had become disingenuous, and the MC set has gone through this thing of, this hypeness to who's got the biggest anniversary party and this, that, and the other. Now, that's become a norm now, MCing wise. Not a norm that we necessarily buy into and participate in. Will we go to an anniversary party? Sure. But we're not going there for the factor of being part of the hype of who's got the biggest party. Because like I said, we don't throw parties like that. When we throw a cookout, it's an internal cookout, and we invite people to come through. If you come through, you come through. If you don't come through, we're not butthurt over it. And you shouldn't be butthurt over if we don't make it to your event. There's nothing personal about it, or we don't like you, or this, that, and the other. It's just there's a lot of MC events going on, and people have a lot of family events going on. So you can't make it to everybody's event all the time. So that's why we don't just get into that. Now, will we throw an anniversary party that's kind of larger than life? Yes, we have, and we probably will, but they'll be so far and few between, and hopefully that bring back some of the genuineness that you just come fuck with us because you fuck with us, not just because you're trying to get us back at your party to see who can throw the biggest party type of thing. Let me explain to you a little bit about our rags, our cut, our vest. You'll have different terminology depending on where you are in the country. So, Raw Iron Brotherhood MC vests are all uniform. That comes out of some of the military traditions that we have in the club, right? And you'll see a name, and then you'll see our patch with Raw Iron Brotherhood and Roger Iron, Mind Your Business on the bottom. And Memphis has the city of Memphis with the skull head. Flipping it over, you see the traditional three-piece patch, right? With the top and bottom rocker, you can read. The blacksmith in the middle is actually forging a brotherhood through motorcycles. And that's what the symbol of the blacksmith means. So if you visit our clubhouse, it'll give you the story of how the blacksmith was born and the ideals in naming and the concepts of how the blacksmith was formed, drawn up, and now presented in its current state. That's a brief introduction into the world of Raw Iron Brotherhood MC. I am the spoiler. And if you have any questions and inquiries, the email is the best way to get a hold of me, and I'll answer your questions.